Cornelius Vanderbilt was born in New York, 1794. At age 11, Vanderbilt quit school and started helping his father with a ferry business in the harbor. Years later, when he was 16, he created a ferry business of his own. This business took off during the War of 1812. During the war, he helped transport supplies to numerous outposts along the coast. Once steamboats were introduced into the world, Vanderbilt sold his original business and became business partners with Thomas Gibbons. After Gibbons died, he attempted to buy out the business. When his son refused, Vanderbilt undercut his prices, allowing all of their business to go to him, fostering a monopoly in the ferry industry which let him control Hudson River traffic. These ruthless techniques within his career led to others paying him to not have to compete with him. Around 1851, he created another company known as the Accessory Transit Company to help prospectors who wanted to travel to California during the time of the gold rush. The steamboat service traveled from New York to San Francisco through a route across Nicaragua, enabling quick passage. Around this time period, sectional tensions had been rising in the United States. One of his largest and toughest ships, the Vanderbilt, was acquired by the Army after he donated it to the Union cause. After the Civil War, he retired from the shipping industry and eventually turned to railroad businesses. Vanderbilt began taking control of local railroads like the New York and Harlem Railroad, which would become the foundation of the Grand Central Station. In his 70s, he had joined many previously built tracks with his new tracks, which eventually led to all of the major railroads in the country being connected. Vanderbilt employed 10,000 Chinese laborers to build his railroads. The efficient Chinese workers were paid very little compared to the other laborers, and hundreds lost their lives in a premature explosion and other mishaps. However, these constructions marked a new era in travel technology. The Grand Central Station was one of the first electric buildings, and it was underground, which is now a major facet of New York travel. Despite this, his life would not be remembered in reverence. He kept his money to himself and had no intent to give it away to charity. In 1863, Vanderbilt declined to contribute to a hospital for wounded soldiers, reasoning, "I feel it a duty I owe to myself to keep my name aloof from public acts granted in association with legislative bodies." His wealth would be left to his posterity. Cornelius Vanderbilt died in 1877. Shortly after his death, 15,000 workers went on strike in retaliation, in hopes of getting higher wages. But they sent state militia in, and eventually their strike was quelled. In the end, the Vanderbilts kept their wealth, and his workers kept their low wages. Ultimately, his legacy lies in the economic growth in the United States post-Civil War. By running railroads from ocean to ocean, the network opened up the western states with its wealth of resources. Trains brought raw materials to factories and sped them back as finished goods for sale across the continent. While Vanderbilt's contributions helped America's infrastructure and industry expand to what it is today, his treatment of workers and his disregard for public opinion makes him a robber baron, whose goal was only to expand his wealth at the expense of his poorly compensated laborers.